If it makes you money or brings us happiness, you'll find it right here. This is The Purple Tie Show. Welcome to the show. This episode of Purple Tie Guys is brought to you by Aggravation at Google and Apple. I'm Robert.
And I'm Blake.
And I'm frustrated.
Well, that's not...
I stay frustrated.
That's nothing new.
Such a jerk. Man, where to start? So
before we get started...
This is take 2 of this, because the first...
Or take 3, or take 4. I don't remember.
Let me tell you, the first one went downhill quick.
Yeah, it did.
And we would have had to have bleeped about 2/3 of the podcast out of anger, disgust, and just offhanded, awful...
Yeah, it was not. It was not good. I feel like I keep bumping my mic.
Well, that's probably because it's in your throat.
Anyway, I just want to say before we get started on this tirade, last week, my mom called in while we were recording the show, and I talked to her later in the week, and she said, "I listened to your show."
Like, what show?
And I was like, what show? What are you talking about? And she said, you were recording it, and I called in. I was like, oh, my God, yeah.
You listened to the show?
I can't believe you listened to this.
I thought we only had one listener.
So, hi, Mom. Second of all, before we get started, last week was Thanksgiving, and we didn't even mention it. So, happy belated Thanksgiving. Let us know in the comments what you're thankful for. I'm thankful for... my god-awful old man slippers.
I'm thankful for you. Just you. And the delicious ham that I cooked for Thanksgiving. So, Google... Okay, so, first of all, it is my fault.
We are not going to... make this entire show about this topic because I just don't want to do it.
And then we're going to go to Apple and fuss about Apple, and then we're going to talk about something cool. I don't know what that's going to be, but we'll think of it
as we talk. Yeah, it's going to be great. You guys should totally stick around for what we're planning. It is completely 100% scripted.
Your mind.
You will never see it come. Okay.
So... Google, it's my fault. I did it. The Google listing for Purple Tie Guys, I changed the address because it was the bank building. We moved from the bank building, and we were going to move to another location. But in the meantime, I was like, hey, let's point it to the P.O. box. And there was rumor that you could street address the P.O. box, and ultimately what happened was I ended up changing the address like 3 times.
In like a month.
Not even a month. I think it was like within a week.
But anyway, there wasn't nearly enough time to get the... Google makes you verify it every time you change the address.
Yep. So I changed it like 3 times, didn't verify it, and it was one of those... My app, and Google should fix this. So I have an app.
It's all Google's fault. They should totally fix this.
I'm gonna hit you with something. But my phone had one listing with one address, and my iPad had a listing with another address, and then the computer updated every time you signed in, and so I blame Apple for having the different addresses, and the app didn't update with
Apple?
the thing. And yep, I'm going to get to them in a minute. But anyway, so Google...
What?
So Google...
All right, so let's just get this out of the way. You never... If you changed the address, I don't know about it, because I was pretty sure I'm the one that you asked to change the address. And I kept thinking to myself, we need to just pick one and stick with it. But I had no idea this was going to happen.
Well, I was like, let's wait until we figure out, all the nuances of, the new place versus the old place and blah, blah. long story short, it got delisted. Google decided that we
now,
weren't.
Please, for the audience, tell them what delisting a Google My Business listing actually does.
It means that when someone searches for your name, right? So let's say it's John's air conditioning repair, or home services, or Purple Tie Guys, or a search term like SEO services in a certain city, your listing is delisted. It will never show up. Even if they search for you by name, your listing is gone. So imagine in the old school, some drunkard went over to the yellow pages and ripped the page out that your business happened to be on.
That
stuck it in his pocket and went home. Oh yeah, I'm sure it did. And now, instead of calling, AAA cab, they're calling, Fred's Cab Company, because they ripped A through F out of the phone book.
It's true. So that means that whenever you search for Purple Tie Guys on Google, our website,
vanished.
Our website would show up.
Oh well, yeah. But
in the search results, but the map pack at the top, the 3 listings at the top, we weren't in that. If you searched for us on Maps, we were not in there either.
And so here's my frustration with this, and I'm going to try to be diplomatic about it and look at it from a 30,000 foot level instead of getting down in the trenches, because that's where I get really upset and mad about it.
If you think about it too long, you get upset and mad about it too. I do too, but
I don't think that any one business, even though it's a huge international company like Google, should have so much control over a small business that they can literally delist you and put you out of business overnight. Literally overnight, without a phone call, without a, hey dude, I noticed this thing. What is up with this? What are you trying to do? Let me help you. Nope, they're just like, oh, I'm gonna delist you, I think. Was that me or you?
That was me. It was my toe. My old man toes.
You just
so here's what gets me.
I'm gonna need you to wear shoes in the studio.
We didn't get a warning.
Nope.
We didn't get an email.
We didn't
get a notification. Not one. So
they didn't even send a carrier pigeon.
We don't know how long this listing was banned, or whatever you want to call it.
I think I caught it within a couple of days, but I caught it the day before Thanksgiving. And so I called in.
Oh, yeah.
Got a really nice guy that went south quick, because he accused us. One, there was a language barrier. Huge language barrier. Google
he was overseas.
Does not provide US-based support for any of their products unless it's AdWords or something like that. Like Docs and Google Drive and Google My Business is all supported in the Middle East.
Overseas, yeah.
Overseas, right?
Yep.
And so there was a language barrier, and the words illegitimate business came out of his mouth. And when that hit my ear, there was something that flipped in my brain, because it was just such a slap in the face. And he was like,
no,
your listing is going to be gone. You will never. You've lost it. You will lose it. You have to give me proof right now. Do you have signage? And I was like, I do not have signage on my phone. And he goes, well, if you lose it, you won't be able to get it back. I have to have it. And forced my hand, basically, saying,
well, I don't think he forced your
hand.
Never
get it back.
I don't think he forced your hand, but he definitely made it sound like if you did not provide him some sort of documentation at that very instant,
I was going to lose it forever.
That you were going to lose the Google My Business listing forever, and you would not be able to create a new
Yes,
one. That is the way.
Be banned from Google.
That is the way they made it sound.
I don't know how you ban someone from Google.
Yeah, I think that like you said, there was a language barrier. You were having a hard time understanding him. He was having a hard time understanding you.
And the madder I got, the less he understood, and the less he understood, the madder I got. So we probably just both needed to step back for a minute, but we didn't.
The long and short of it really is that, with that much control over a business's representation on the internet, you should really have somebody who truly understands the nuances of business around the world. Because
here's what my struggle was. He kept saying that I'm an illegitimate business because we have a P.O. box.
That's what I was getting at.
And I was like, but businesses in the United States have P.O. boxes for mailing addresses. It's where people send checks and bills and stuff like that. It's common practice.
Yeah.
Especially if you have multiple locations, or like for us.
Oh yeah, multiple locations,
you have to have a P.O. box.
If you've got, God forbid, you've got employees that refuse to leave your mail sealed, like they open it the instant it comes in.
Hey, this check for $2 came in. When did we do work for so and so? It's like, dude, it was a check for $2. Why did you have to open it?
Yeah, and why are you concerned about when we did the work?
Or it's a Christmas card from my mama. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
So,
and that has been an issue in the past,
especially with Amazon packages. But that's a story for a different time and a different episode.
So maybe later. Maybe that's what we're going to be talking about later.
He didn't understand, and so I sent him a picture that he said was photoshopped, and then started yelling at me.
To be fair,
it was photoshopped.
To be fair, it was photoshopped. It was a mock-up for a billboard that we were.
I did not. We were on that billboard. We're currently on that billboard, but he was like, "Oh no, this," and he's yelling at me, right? And you deceived me, and I'm like, I'm not trying to deceive you. I'm trying to give you what you want. Tell me what you want. And he's like, "Well, I need a business license." I was like, "Hey, I can hook you up with that." So I literally go on my phone, open the Google Drive, snap a picture, screen cap the picture of the business license, and send it to him. And he's like, "It's too blurry, I can't read it." I'm like, "Then get some glasses." "Can I send you a PDF?" "Yes, reply to the email that I sent you earlier," which is a random localhelp@gmail.com. I'm like, how do I know you're going to get that?
Yeah.
So I sent him the PDF, and he opens the PDF and begins to yell at me. Yell. Now, when I say yell at me, I mean yell at me. And he's like, "Now you've changed the P.O. box again to blah, 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 Montgomery, Alabama." And I was like, dude, that's the state of Alabama's post office box. If you'll scroll down to page 2, you will see the physical address of the company. And he's, no, you're an illegitimate company. You're trying to deceive me. And I just lost it. And I was like, look, that address, why don't you call the state of Alabama and tell them they're illegitimate and to stop taxing me every year? That would be great. But you can't really say that because you don't understand it. And after 3 days, 3 long, grueling days of arguing with Google and about 4 pieces of documentation, I ended up getting our listing back. Now, the bad news.
The bad news is that we lost all of our reviews. Even though they said that they were going to keep all of the data, we still lost all of our reviews. And every time we've called in asking, are we going to get those back? It's like they've lost paperwork. It's crazy.
He's like, hang on, let me look for them. I'm like, do you have them shoved in a closet somewhere?
Are they in a drawer? Did they get stuck behind some folders? What's happening? Why? Let me go. It was crazy. They called while we were in the car one time, so I overheard the entire conversation. And Robert said, "Hey, I'm trying to get my reviews back." They said, "How many did you have?" And we'd say, I don't know, 5 or something like that, 5-star reviews. And Pating,
yeah, that's me.
They said, hang on, let me look for them.
Like
they were physical papers that they had printed out.
They're a digital document at best, right?
And they said, I didn't see any, or something along those lines.
Sorry, I couldn't find them in my desk drawer.
Robert said, okay, well, I was told that I wouldn't lose those. I would really like to have those back. And he said, hang on, let me check again.
Like they're going to miraculously appear.
And,
and then
at the end of the
piece of advice ever.
I don't remember it.
Do you not?
No.
He says, I can't find them. I would suggest getting new ones.
Oh, yeah. And Robert was slack-jawed. It was amazing. The first time I've ever seen him not have something to say.
Oh, I did. And it just wasn't nice.
Robert didn't reply right away. And the guy said, did that take care of your question or something along those lines? And Robert didn't say any words. I remember this very clearly. Robert didn't say any words. He went, like he's stammering to try and say something. The guy on the phone says, thank you, have a nice day, hold for a brief survey.
And then you hung up.
And then I hung up the phone because I was like, no, we're not going to do this.
No, you're not going to leave that survey. It's going to be too good. So, long story short, here's what really frustrates me with this is if you're not a tech savvy person, if you're not you don't understand the internet, and there's a lot of businesses out there that don't understand the Google listing, right? I talk to business owners, employees every day that is like, man, I wish you would tell Google to quit calling me. Matter of fact, just take my listing away. I don't even want to be listed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's a mistake. You want to be listed. I understand there's a lot of scammers that try to get you. And so our advice to business owners is always the same. Google will never call you. Ever.
Right.
Even in this matter, they didn't call us.
Yeah, that's something else that I think I should bring up because...
And if they call, it'll be a...
Oh, man, it was straight up...
What was it, Bangladesh or...
I probably still have it on my phone.
And it's a toll-free Bangladesh international number. We'll post that. If y'all want to call Google my business and just tell them hi...
I'll look through my list.
We'll give you the number.
I don't get near as many phone calls as you do. Here it is. It is +1 080 711 491.
And where is it from?
It says United States.
Yeah, it's not. And there was another one that was a plus something, and it was like.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I only got one phone call.
We'll find it and put it in the show notes.
Here's something that I want to bring up. I'm the one that realized that our listing had a problem. Whenever I logged into the Google My Business backend, we got access to several, and ours was the only one with a red exclamation mark next to it. So whenever I went in there, it said your listing had been deactivated or something along those lines. Click here to contact support.
Oh, man.
And I did. I clicked there to contact support, filled out all the information. They said that they would call me. I never received a phone call.
And then I did the same thing, but I'm impatient.
Well,
so I also called and yelled at people.
You've got a way to get in though, because months ago you got a phone call from somebody from Google AdWords
who is based in the U.S.
Who
Actually,
could give
she's
you
in Texas.
Who could give you the phone number for Google My Business support?
Yeah, it's an 844 number,
but it's not anywhere on the internet that I could find.
No. So I called into. My first one that I called into for Google AdWords was the night before Thanksgiving, right? Yeah. I called in and I'm like freaking out. So I call the AdWords thing, and this dude answers, and there's music blaring in the background, and people are like laughing and cutting up and stuff, and he's like, "Google," right? But not just Google, like thick, like Pakistan type, like overseas, like real thick accent, and it was like the I don't want to say redneck, the southern version of Google,
like really
thick,
heavy
right?
accent.
Yeah, and I was like, My exact words was, is this actual Google? Because it sounds like you got a party going on over there. And he's like, no party. I'm like,
and then I'm sure he turns behind him and he goes, shh, turn down the music.
Hang on, I got a live one on the phone. Y'all turn it down. But so I was like, okay, so I have a problem with my business list. And he's like, oh yeah, this is not the right department. Let me give you a phone number. And I was like, can you not transfer me? And he goes, no.
Yeah.
Like scolded me. No. Like, don't even ask that. And I was like, what is wrong with you people? And I can't get through to anybody, right? And so when I finally get a hold of somebody in AdWords who is based here, I'm like, what is wrong with you? And why did you take my listing? And they're like, oh, this is Google AdWords. Can I help you with your ads? And I'm like, sure. My listing's been delisted, and I can't run ads until it's relisted. And they were like, oh, no, you can run ads. And I'm like,
Let me rephrase. I'm not going to run ads.
That's what I told her. I was like, let me rephrase that. I'm not going to. And they give me the same 844 number.
Yeah.
So I call in, and I get somebody else, and I'm real calm.
And then
I even do the whole tear-jerking thing. I'm just like, you know.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was hilarious.
It was, and she couldn't help me. And then she told me that one of her colleagues, she was working on it. And I'm like, but the original person was a he, and now I'm really confused. And then, like 2 days later, he called me back, and then suddenly, poof, the listing was back with nothing in it.
Yeah, it didn't have anything.
The only thing they
didn't
didn't strip
pictures.
was the pictures. They stripped the reviews, all the messaging options.
They stripped the
hours,
all of the information about
website,
it.
everything.
We had all the services filled out. I mean, we had a lot of stuff on there.
Very, very discouraging.
They even I even had a blog post on there that I just tried out months ago.
Yeah.
It was gone. I mean, literally everything except for the name and the photos.
It's like they took one of those giant Mr. Clean magic erasers and just went chicka chicka chicka, and just was
all
like,
of it.
Here you go. You got
all
your
of
name
it was
back.
gone.
I'm like, I needed more than my name. Please give me more than my name. Anyway, very bad experience. If you ever have to go through it, I am so sorry. We know how to help you, though.
Yeah, be very careful whenever you are changing information, especially if you're changing information frequently on your Google My Business listing. Certain things will get it delisted, and one of them is changing your address multiple times in a month.
Well, that's because I was not smart about that. Speaking of not smart about that, we had a interesting little thing happen to one of our paid advertisements on Facebook that we were paying good money to run.
The ad said, basically, bring your computer, Mac, or PC in, and we will fix it. Basically. And I'm
not going to actually get into like specifics on that.
Yeah, because there's some targeting in there, and then there's some other stuff. But see, the targeting is also interesting, because it's only being shown in a specific radius of the store. Mm-hmm. So that means...
Only on specific devices, too.
Only on specific devices, right. So it's interesting that this even happened. Would you like to tell them what happened?
I will lead the story off by saying that a person who claims to be an Apple employee commented on one of our paid advertisements to be careful that when selecting a repair center for your broken device, because if they're not Apple certified, that you may be getting inferior parts and all this other stuff, even though the ad clearly states same day fix and lifetime warranty.
I'm sorry, I was wrong. I thought he had commented on the PC repair one. He was commenting on the iPhone repair one.
I wasn't going to mention the exact thing, but yes, so for iPhones, it's a same-day fix. We offer a lifetime warranty, and then...
Well, do you want to re-record that part?
No, we're going to leave that in there, too.
We're going to leave all this in here.
We're going to leave it all in here.
This is live.
Live. So, he comments on this paid post with, be careful, you may get inferior products or, screens, parts,
inferior
whatever.
parts, right.
I'm like, one, how would you, if I'm giving you a lifetime warranty on the part, how can that be inferior?
Right.
Like, that's an oxymoron. Or an oxy stupid if you're...
Side tangent. Whenever I had a Kia, they came with a 10-year warranty. Straight from the factory, they came with a 10-year warranty. And I always thought... If what?
If you did all the maintenance and all the...
Oh, yeah. Well, you had to go and do, the oil changes and stuff. It had to be at a Kia.
Through the hoops.
Yeah, you had to jump through the hoops. But they weren't bad hoops. They were just hoops.
I don't know, that timing belt at 100,000 miles was... whatever was expensive.
I always thought that having a longer warranty was... It made it seem like the car was an inferior car. Like, why would you need to warranty it longer if it was a good car?
Well, see,
but
for me, it's peace of mind, right? If Apple came to me and said, you know what, we're going to warranty, and Apple doesn't even warranty their repairs.
No, it's a 30-day.
I think it's like 30 days.
It's a 30-day warranty for repairs.
But if Apple was like, hey, if you buy our phone, we're going to give you a lifetime warranty on that device.
Well, I don't remember who I was talking to back whenever I had this Kia, but they said, no, you've got your thinking wrong. If they had crappy cars, they would give you a 1-year warranty.
Yeah. And pray you didn't
come in.
Yeah.
Because
Kia is a whole new topic.
Well, we're not going to get into
which we will talk about in an episode.
But that changed my thinking about it. Yeah, I get that now. You buy a product, and the longer the warranty is, that those companies that give you the longer warranty are thinking, okay, our product is so good that we will warranty it for this amount of time.
Forever.
Yeah, well, our repair warranty is forever. It's for the lifetime of the phone. Like, if you brought in today an iPhone 3 that we repaired 6 years ago,
if we could get the price,
if we could get the part,
we can't.
We would, I guess we would try to fix that. But why would you want to? That phone barely functions.
Well, they quit supporting it and everything else. But the point is, he commented on it, and then so I was being very, I was livid when I first saw it, right? And the more I thought about it, the more I calmed down. And so I called the store. I was being very, very...
The Apple store.
The Apple store. And I called and I said, this frustrates me because, and we talked about it a little bit, and the store manager, who shall remain nameless, and the store that I called will remain nameless. However, if you know where we are and look it up, you'll figure it out.
It's not difficult.
But
although I think there are a couple of Apple stores in Alabama now.
Yeah, there's one in Birmingham, one in Huntsville. I think there's some down south. I don't know. I just gave away. You don't know where we are. But so I called the store manager and I'm like, look, I'm really frustrated. We offer a lifetime warranty. So if you follow the link that doesn't work that your employee put in there, the only option it gives you is the Apple store.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you an option for another repair center because you guys don't allow other repair centers without jumping through a bajillion hoops and spending more money than you would ever make repairing phones.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he looks through his little list and he goes, I don't have an employee by that name. And I was like, huh. Well, according to the little profile, it says he works at Apple. So I'm going to need you to figure that out. And he goes, well, I got a directory. And I'll try to find him and I'll see what I can do. And I was like, okay, well, I would appreciate a phone call back. I have yet to get a phone call back.
And that's been, 3 days ago at this point?
It was Friday, so I don't expect to get a phone call till Monday, maybe Tuesday. If I don't hear from him by Tuesday, I'll call the store manager back and be like, hey, that directory you have? Listen,
I'm still really curious about this. So
yeah, I'm
let's
gonna need you to provide me with a phone number or a physical address if you have it.
let's break down why this is such a big deal. Okay, one, this was an ad that we were running.
Yeah, paid ad.
A
I'm paying
paid
good money.
ad. Two, the ad is shown to something like 5,000 people a day.
Yeah.
And we didn't catch that for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, so it probably got seen by about 1,000 people, roughly.
Three, the simple fact that he took the time to comment on our ad, and literally no other cell phone repair store in the Tri-County area.
There is so iPhone repair places, it's kind of like the Starbucks. There's one across the corner from the other.
No, it's not like a Starbucks. It's sort of like gas stations. They're everywhere.
And there's good gas stations, bad gas stations.
Yeah, I mean, I know which one you're going to mention, so I'm not going to mention that one because I want you to have your fun. But there is a man in town that used to own a Japanese steak sushi restaurant that, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. That now repairs phones.
And there's pictures of him all over the internet removing the glass with playing cards.
Oh man, it's so just so good. Then there is a vape shop / cell phone repair company who has I don't know how that's a thing. That's like,
I don't understand why vape has become so synonymous with so many things. There's a bunch of vape and cell phone repair shops around here.
There's a vape and video game repair shop.
Yes, there is.
There is a vape and cell phone repair
but there's 2 or 3 in town with us, and I've seen a bunch up in Huntsville.
Oh yeah. And there's a cell phone repair and gas station in Huntsville too.
There's one of those here in town too.
Oh my God. So, but here's the thing, and there's a level of customer service and a level of customers for each one of us, right?
Right.
Like, I personally would not get my phone repaired should add, I explained to the store manager that I had a gentleman come in just the other day with an iPhone 10, and we don't feel comfortable doing that repair.
Well, now, I just want to say this. We could do that repair.
Oh, we could. It's really expensive.
We could get the parts. We could do that repair, but it would be so expensive.
Well, Apple doesn't want you to have the parts because right to repair isn't in the state and blah, 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 blah. It's so disheartening and until phones get to the point that computers are, right? If I want to go build a computer, no problem. I go down to, if I wanted to...
No, if you want to build a PC.
If I want to build a PC, I go to my local Staples or Office Depot if I'm desperate and buy some parts. Or I go to Amazon or Newegg or any of the other bajillion places you can get computer components, PC components, and you build your own PC, you install Windows on it yourself. Until the cell phone industry gets to the point that it's a self-repair thing, you can fix it yourself if you drop it or whatever, I feel like you'll always have the cheap version, the middle of the road, and then the elite expensive version, right? And then you'll have like the, Tesla, which is, Apple repair, where, if we mess it up, we'll just give you a new phone.
Yeah, but see, here's the niche that we can provide service to that Apple can't, or Apple hasn't so far. We had
I need it right now.
Well, there's that. I wasn't going to go into that. But it does take hours and hours and hours if you can get it back.
Days, if you can get
it back the same day. But what I was going to say was a gentleman came in from one of the local manufacturing plants a couple of weeks ago and dropped off 9 phones. Yeah. 9. And he's like, I need these back in like 2 weeks. Can you do that? And we said, sure. And we fixed them. and we waited, and he came back in and he paid for them. Apple doesn't offer that kind of service.
No, you can't just walk in with 10 or 12 phones and be like, hey, need these fixed whenever you get around to it. Just give me a call when they're ready.
Yeah, they don't offer that.
They're going to be like, sir, we're going to need you to make an appointment, get in line, and wait a little while for one of our geniuses.
And you have to do it for each phone.
Oh, see, that would frustrate me to no end.
At least that's the feeling that I get. You know, the Apple experience is very consumer friendly, but it is a consumer experience.
It is very much a go play with the new gadgets while we work on yours for a couple hours. If you want to go have dinner and come back, that'd be fine too.
But this guy, you know, he commented on the ad, so
I lost it for a little while.
We speculate that he may be some sort of phone support for them if he's not employed by the local Apple store. But beyond that,
all employees work at the local Apple store. I mean, they've got
call takers.
Clean the bathroom too.
Oh well, yeah, they've got that.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess they've got that.
Speaking of cleaning the bathrooms, I'm frustrated at Facebook right now too.
Okay.
So this episode brought to you by Facebook as well.
Oh wait, what is it about the thing for?
Yeah, so for the dude. So I built an ad for a multi-tool that's a flashlight, a battery bank, and it has a pocket knife built in. Well, Facebook flagged the original ad because it had a knife in it.
Right.
And it's not a big Bowie knife. It's not a, and they're like, oh, well, it promotes violence. And I'm like, dude, this is a pocket knife that promotes a paper cut at best.
Did you know that blade's detachable?
I did not know that. So, thank you for pointing that out in the middle of the podcast.
You can detach the blade whenever. It's one of the safety features for travel. It's listed in the details on the page. It's like you can detach the blade so that you can pack it and travel with it.
Oh, well, there you go, Facebook. Quit being a pain.
That thing that you can't say.
So then I post it to Marketplace. And I'm like, ooh, Marketplace. I can go make a post to Marketplace and post it to all the yard sales. And, a bunch of the southern hunting, fishing, camping people around here will buy them up like candy. Someone had... someone took the time to report the post that it broke. And I was so careful in my post, too, that it was a multi-tool.
Yeah, but you've got pictures of the knife, so it's not like you can't deny it. It has a blade attached to it. It has a blade,
but they flagged it.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
And removed it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They removed it from Marketplace, but they did not remove it from the 900 other places that you posted it at the same time. They can't.
Are you sure?
I'm almost
still
positive.
In yard sale and everything?
No,
it popped up and said that it had been delisted, just like our Google ad.
I got notice. I got a notification whenever you posted all that stuff. It's just a block of notifications. Robert posted something to this. Robert posted something to that. Robert posted something to the other.
Yeah, well, so I posted it to like 9 different yard sale sites, but whenever they took the main Marketplace listing down, it also took it out of all the yard sale sites.
I've never had that happen before.
So now it's just delisted like our Google listing. All over a knife blade that is detachable.
Yeah, this thing's like 1.5 inches long and it's so tiny.
It's not even, but it's cool. It's like, you did that on purpose.
I did.
So, but it's a power bank, a battery, flashlight, knife blade. I mean, it's cool, but it's a novelty thing. I personally would have one just because I'm that kind of guy. I would have one.
Advertising restrictions have become so... I mean, there's not a whole lot.
I want to post it in here. I have an ad from like the 1930s or 40s or something like that. I think it was the 40s, where it had Heinz 57 ketchup bottle, and it was like so easy a woman could open it. And I'm like, that used to be advertising in the day.
You know what? We ought to post that and see if it gets flagged.
Oh, I'm sure it would.
I don't know if it would. That's the thing. It's not breaking any rules.
Vintage artwork.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, and then there was the one that we can't mention on here. And then it was like the cocaine, what was it? The cocaine something drops.
Oh, yeah. That literally had cocaine in the candy. And they would give it to like kids and adults and everybody.
Like, hey, hey, cocaine for everyone.
Yep.
I mean, no wonder we're so screwed up. But the fact that they felt the need to pull that down because of the knife blade, I guess it's
now I'm curious. I really want to go check and see.
I don't think it's up there. I think they really took it down. So the fact that these large companies, right? Apple, you know why Apple frustrates me?
Why?
Because it's a $1 trillion company who an employee of that company took it upon themselves in their personal time to comment on my ad. Hey, is it still up?
Still up.
It's still up in the
Still up in the groups.
So it's very frustrating that it almost feels like a $1 trillion company picking on $1 million company, right?
I'll tell you what upsets me. It's that we started our own business because we didn't want to be tied to a large company that could just fire us whenever they wanted to for no given reason, and that's what it
now
feels like.
Now we work with 4 or 5 of them.
And that's what it feels like, doesn't it?
If Facebook gets ticked off at you,
you've got a friend who can't post on Marketplace anymore.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine from is he from Pakistan? Where is he from? Pakistan?
He's from India.
He is so.
Sid's from India.
So Sid messaged me and was like, "Hey, I got this laptop for sale," and we were trying to chat in the Marketplace ad that we had initially met through. Sid's a great guy. Like we're friends now. We chat on a regular basis.
You couldn't chat through the original ad thing that you
because
had. They had banned him basically from Marketplace, so he can't post anything to Marketplace
because he broke some privacy policy.
No, it was the I forget exactly. It's like the terms of service of using Marketplace.
I think he didn't mark something as sold or something, and somebody complained, which is stupid.
That is stupid. The
whole thing is stupid. But here, so I have another friend who got his ad account shut down and can no longer post advertising because he owes them $25 and refuses to pay them. And I'm just like, dude, it's $25. I will loan it to you. Just pay them. And he's like, no, it's the principal. I'm like, Facebook doesn't understand the principle of your $25. No. I can assure you of that.
Yeah, and he'll never get that ad account back, until he pays that money. No. And I'm sure that by the end of it, whenever he's 10, 15 years down the road, when he's like, okay, fine, you can have your $25 so I can run ads again, they'll be like, well, with fees, that comes to $3,000. Yeah, and then he'll be like, screw you.
Either that or he'll go back and he'll be like, hey, I'm going to pay that $25 so I can advertise on Facebook. And it's like, what's Facebook?
Yeah.
You know, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, there's something else new. Instagram, well, Facebook owns Instagram, so it doesn't matter. But it's been a week of
just wall after wall after wall.
Just brick wall. I mean, just good, solid, old-fashioned slap to the face. Like, why?
It's been a very frustrating week, especially it ruined Thanksgiving.
It didn't ruin. I didn't let losing my Google listing completely ruin Thanksgiving. I still had ham and sweet tater casserole. That's right, sweet tater casserole. And green bean casserole with jalapenos on it, which is something that they don't do in other places like
Virginia.
So I didn't let it ruin Thanksgiving, and yeah, I was a little upset about the Apple guy. That aggravates me, and the fact that Facebook is so like, can't make anyone mad.
I'll tell you what's funny about Facebook. I don't remember which group I saw it in, but somebody was like, box for sale, comes with many accessories, $400.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this crap?
Yeah. No, mini upgrades. That's
what it was, yeah.
And I commented on it, right? It was like plastic box with mini upgrades. And I was like, that happens to say Glock on the front of it.
Yep.
So I messaged him, I'm like, what's in the box?
Yeah.
And then I get like actual pictures, and it wasn't the one I was looking for. It was like, I think it was a 40 caliber, which I already have. I wanted the 9mm, and anyway, it wasn't the right one. I was like, but that's nice.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of, like, if you're gonna do that to the people that use your platform, where you've got to manipulate your listing so that people aren't upset by it, or it doesn't break your policies or whatever, and then the whole Russians and the
oh my god,
elections and the scammers. Okay, we're at 43 minutes and counting. We can't talk about scammers in this episode.
I'm just going to say this. If you ever get a comment on anything that you list in a group that says, I'm interested, inbox me, I guarantee you 100% that is a scammer.
If it's not a scammer, right?
I will give you $5. I'll give you $5.
I'll give them 20. If they comment on a post and they're like, I'm interested, inbox me, and they legitimately are not scammers, they meet you in person and hand you money for your item, please let me know.
Send us pictures. Send us pictures on Twitter at Purple Tie Guys.
Yeah. Hello? Was that right?
Hello at purpletieguys.com.
I will give you a crisp $20 bill if it's not a scammer.
Yeah.
And on that note,
I think we'll wrap it up.
This has been the Purple Tie Radio Show. Find us online everywhere, including the Google Map Pack. Yeah, baby. Purple Tie Guys. PurpleTieGuys.com, Facebook.com/Purple Tie Guys. And we'll talk to you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.